One important detail is our Revit export exports the current view that you are in. So as a matter of good practice, before you create an export, it's good to set up a view in Sorcery that has the data that you want to sync to Revit. This makes an overall cleaner, smoother process for synchronization. So let's do that first. Click the View drop-down menu in the upper right-hand side of your screen. Click the Create a New View button. In Sorcery, when you create a new view, we ask you what view you would like to make a copy from. That way you're starting from some sort of existing view and not from scratch. We do this to save you time. In this case, I'm going to use the Sorcery specifier view because generally speaking, this view has the most fields turned on. I'm going to start here. Click Copy. Now I'm going to edit the name. I'm going to call it Revit Sync and click Save. Now let's narrow down the fields we want to sync to our Revit model. Let's click the Fields Control button. You can now use this dialog to turn off the fields you do not want to sync with Revit. As an example, I'm going to turn off the image field. Click Save. Before I sync to Revit, I've also gone through my luminaires and narrowed down the options. One thing that Revit does not handle well is multiple variables per data field. So if you have multiple color temperature options, multiple wattage options, or ranges, you may have issues with syncing the data. So it's important to understand when you are merging data with your Revit model to make sure you have some idea as to what data you want in each field and you've really narrowed it down. Now we're ready to sync. Click the Revit icon in the toolbar on the left-hand side of your screen. Here, you'll see a dialog box pops up, prompting you to either download the CSV so you can sync, or if you haven't done so before, install the app. In this case, let's download the app. This download button will take you to the Revit help page. Here, you can download the app and also see tutorials. Let's click Download. The download button will take you to the Revit App Store. Here, you can download the Sorcery plugin as well as read a little more about it. Let's click Download here. Now, click Next to install the plugin. When you install the plugin, the Revit Sync app will show up in your Revit Applications toolbar. Now that you've installed Revit Sync on your PC, we can go back and click the Revit Sync button. This time, we'll click Export to CSV. Whenever you do an export from Sorcery, we always prompt you to make a version. Versions are a great way of tracking changes over time. You can choose to ignore this or create a version. It does not affect your export. Now, in Revit, navigate to the Sorcery tab and click the Synchronize app button. Load up the CSV you saved. Verify that all these records have been loaded, in this case 28. Click Next. Now, Sorcery takes you through a step-by-step mapping process. First, you map the Sorcery fields to the Revit shared attributes that we will add to your families. We can either add Sorcery shared attributes, you can use your own, or you can load up the IES standard. Click Next. It will now allow you to map the types to the Revit, the types of Sorcery to the Revit family types. Note, you can also load and save these maps. So once you've mapped, you do not have to map it again. I'll leave you to watch the rest of this video as we go through this process step by step. Thank you for watching our tutorial on Revit synchronization. Access our help files under our help desk for more information.